Hello and welcome back to Jules Math Tools. In our session today, we are converting a fraction into a decimal by using division. And if you want to see how this is done, let's get started. So in our session today, we're going to be converting a fraction into a decimal. And the fraction that we're working with today is 32/6. And this is the first out of our two examples. Now, whenever you are converting a fraction, in this case an improper fraction, into a decimal number, we're going to be dividing our denominator into our numerator. So that means that the bottom number of our fraction is dividing into the top number. So 6 will go into 3 0 times. And remember that if you are past this phase, remember you do not have to go through this step, but I go through the step in case we have anybody watching who is not too strong in division. And we're going to bring down our 2. So now we're going to divide 6 into 32, and 6 goes into 32 5 times. 5 times 6 will give us 30. When 32 minus 30, this will give us a remainder of 2. I'm now going to add in my decimal point behind my dividend and my quotient. Add a 0 and continue dividing by bringing that 0 down, where I'll be changing 2 into 20. And 6 goes into 20 3 times. 3 times 6 is equal to 18. When 20 subtracts 18, we get a remainder of 2. And at this point, you should have realized that we are now moving into a recurring number where our 3 will begin repeating. Because if we were to get another 0, we're going to bring down that 0 and then still keep getting 3 in our quotient. So my 32/6 as a decimal number will be 5.3. And remember that with your recurring number, you can either put that dash, or remember that you can also put a dot above the number to indicate that the number is repeating. So this would be our decimal number to one decimal place. So let's try another example, and you can feel free at this point to pause the video and convert 14 quarts into a decimal number, and then when you're ready, you can unpause the video and see if me and you got the exact same answer. So we're going to be taking the same approach that we did in the first session, where we divided our denominator into our numerator. And remember that I'm going to go through all of the steps just in case we have anybody who's watching and not too strong in division. So 4 will go into 1 0 times. 0 times 4 will equal to 0. 1 minus 0 will equal to 1. Then we bring down our 4, changing 1 into 14. 4 goes into 14 3 times. 3 times 4 will give us 12. 14 minus 12 will equal to 2. And just like before, we'll add in our decimal point behind both our dividend and quotient. And then we're going to add a 0, bring down that 0, and change 2 into 20. Where 4 goes into 20 5 times. 5 times 3 will equal to 20. 5 times 4 will equal to 20, and 20 subtract 20 is 0. So our 14 quarts as a decimal number will equal to 3 and 5/10. Okay, so there you have it. We just converted two improper fractions into a decimal number. And remember that whenever you are working with improper fraction, that means that your numerator is larger than the denominator. So you should have a number that's in the whole numbers place and in the tens place or more. So make sure that you get some additional practice in, and we'll be right here in the next video on Jules Math Tools, where we make math easy.